Tonight we start off by taking a look at Auburn's eclipse plans and record-breaking enrollment news. Then we'll inform you of several upcoming and past events for students that happened right here on Auburn's campus.
We'll also take a look nationally by updating you on the attacks in Israel. Finally, you'll get an Auburn sports update and the pet of the week.
All of that and more is coming up next on Eagle Eyes Monday News at 6. Good evening and welcome to Eagle Eyes News at 6. I'm Joe Champagne.
And I'm MaKayla Kersh. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's a solar eclipse. That's right. Current Auburn students are invited by the physics department to come together on Cater Lawn this Saturday to watch the moon pass over the sun. Offering telescope access and eclipse glasses, the event is free of charge, lasting from 10:41 until the natural phenomenon ends at 1:46. Hope to see you there.
Auburn University has once again beaten one of its own records. For the 5th consecutive year, this school on the Plains has set a new record for highest rate of enrollment, this time with exceeding 33,000 students. With more than 48,000 applicants for the fall semester, the latest accepted freshman class reportedly entered with 5,935 people to join the Auburn family. This comes after last school year when 8,127 degrees were awarded to graduating students. With the fall of 2024 application opening up in September, we are looking forward to seeing if we can top this record for the 6th year in a row.
Planning to move out of your dorm next school year? Or do you just want a change of pace from your current living situation? Well, Auburn University Housing has got you covered. Auburn University Off-Campus Housing will be holding their Off-Campus Housing Fair in the Melton Student Center. This event is a free informational resource for every Auburn student. It will last from 10 a.m. until 2 tomorrow. When we return from this short break, we'll tell you all about White Cane Awareness Day and UPC's fall kickoff event. You're watching Eagle Eye News at 6. This Saturday is a White Cane Awareness Day, and you better believe that the Auburn family is getting involved. Sponsored by the College of Sciences and Mathematics, participants are to meet at Toomer's Corner at 9 a.m. before moving along to Jordan-Hare Stadium, celebrating those with visual impairments the whole time. Named for the tool that has become so essential to the lives of many, the 11th annual White Cane Awareness Day event will last until 3 o'clock. Come on out for a wonderful day of fellowship.
Jam-packed with free food and activities, Friday's UPC event gave students multiple reasons to celebrate. Eagle Eye's Sydney Babb was fresh on the scene.
Auburn University's University Program Council is no stranger to putting on fun events for all of Auburn students. Today I'm at Aubie's Picnic Palooza, where students have the opportunity to enjoy free ice cream, free Toomer's lemonade, as well as build their own bouquets with a flower truck that has come to campus and do their own watercolor paintings on Cater Lawn.
I found out about this event on Instagram, on the UPC Instagram, and ended up coming out after my organic chemistry class just to get a little bit of a break. And it's a very nice week to end midterms.
So we knew that we wanted to do some type of picnic, and we were kind of had a very pastel mindset of the color palette, and so we went with flowers. And then I had recently been watercoloring a bunch, and I was like, oh wait, let's add some watercoloring, and then that kind of brought the colors together, and we're like, well, we need something to eat, so let's do charcuterie boards and then some ice cream as well.
And of course, Aubie the Tiger was in attendance. One student wanted to share what Aubie being at this event meant to her.
He's the one who brings his joy to every event and he attends, especially the Auburn football games, basketball games, volleyball, gymnastics, soccer, and you name it.
Thank you for watching. This has been Eagle Eye TV.
Hosting one of many events meant to entertain during this lovely fall season, UPC offered students a night of fun on the campus green space. Kinsley Davis has more details.
Join me for a night of fun as students pour into UPC's annual Fall Festival.
The Auburn University Program Council welcomed students to their annual Fall Festival. Students poured in, lining up for the food tables. on the menu for the night included carnival-like food from hot dogs, cheeseburgers, funnel cakes, and even a customizable popcorn bar. Lines were long, but wait times were relatively short. Obby the tiger made his very own appearance, coming in on the zip line. Students were given the opportunity to ride rides, play an assortment of games for prizes, and catch up with the Auburn family most importantly. University Program Council's Fall Festival is a huge hit amongst students and even won the 2021 Auburn Involvement Award's Most Entertaining Event. Eat Bama Food Drive came to advocate for the cause, and I myself may have partook in some fall festivities. I opted for the face paint. My inner childhood was for sure smiling. The night went on. Students continued to pour in for fun to wrap up the midterm week. As for myself, I couldn't wrap up my fall festival until going down the slide.
I'm Kinsley Davis reporting live from UPC. Good night, Auburn.
Several Auburn students were in for an in-your-face treat last Friday. The Honors Congress, a government made up of University Honors College students, have sought out ways to fulfill their philanthropic agenda, and this event was a great example. Charging $3 for one pie or $5 for two, Honors Congress received pies to the face just in front of Cater Hall. Pie Honors College perfectly exemplifies the idea of sweet success. Great job, y'all. When we come back, we'll inform you on the latest information surrounding the attack in Israel's this past weekend. You're watching Eagle Eye TV, Auburn's news leader. CNN's Clarissa Ward reports from the scene of an Israeli music festival after Israeli rescuers say at least 260 bodies were found at the site after Hamas militants carried out an assault on festival goers and took hostages.
What happened just off this quiet border road was a massacre. The bodies of the perpetrators still remain, while the fate of many victims is unknown. Organizers of the Supernova Music Festival say that thousands of young revelers had gathered to celebrate the end of the holidays. When just after 6 a.m., Hamas militants launched a bloody attack.
So we're just now on the approach to the kibbutz where that dance party was taking place. You can see there's vehicles all around here that have been shot up. We see the bodies of at least 2 Hamas fighters. I think there are more down this way.
Many of the victims spent hours in hiding, waiting to be rescued and calling their loved ones.
Many of them are still missing. Many of them are dead. It's been very difficult to try to get a precise number.
Now, a volunteer group that handles human remains says that at least 260 bodies have been found at the festival site. The government here took a bold step, releasing an image of scores of body bags in a tent where investigators were tasked with identifying them.
So you can see over here the body of at least one other person. I don't think you want to get too close to it. It's pretty graphic.
Active fighting continued along this stretch of the border throughout the day as Israeli military forces poured in.
So we're seeing a bunch of tanks being brought down this way. You can also been hearing a steady stream of booms, apparently rockets landing in the distance in that direction. And certainly a feeling that people are on high alert. We tried to push further down that way. We were told on no uncertain terms we needed to turn around.
Clarissa Ward, CNN, Re'im, Israel.
The Biden administration is staying in close touch with their Israeli counterparts, and U.S. political leaders are pledging their support for Israel after Hamas fighters on Saturday breached the border from Gaza in a surprise attack left hundreds dead. Karen Kaifa is in Washington with the latest.
After more than 48 hours of fighting, Israel's military says it has retaken control of all communities around Gaza. On the ground, Israeli troops work to secure the breach points where Hamas fighters cross the border.
It's taking us more time as we expected to get things back into a sort of defensive security posture of people coming in and also defending the communities.
While from the air, Israel pounds Gaza with strikes it says are aimed at Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad targets. But scores of women and children have been killed, according to the Palestinian Health Ministry.
We are at war with Hamas. And sadly, there might be people that are involved killed. It won't be intentional. And sadly, Hamas have entrenched themselves in a cynical way within the civilian population.
Disturbing new videos from Hamas's attack on a music festival show the extent of the terror. Fighters shooting at a hostage at close range. A woman is led away. Her fate is unknown. Hamas claims it is holding more than 100 hostages.
But this was a completely different attack that nobody was prepared for, and nobody can ever be prepared for such a thing, I guess.
The unprecedented attack shaking the international community. Two senior officials say the U.S. State and Defense Departments are moving as quickly as they can to deliver weapons to Israel as part of already existing contracts.
President Biden's direction was to make sure that we're providing Israel everything it needs in this moment to deal with the attacks from Hamas.
In Washington, I'm Karen Kifa.
Hundreds showed up in downtown Los Angeles Sunday to show solidarity with Israel as the fighting continues in the Middle East between Israelis and the Palestinians. The vigil was hosted at the Stephen Wise Temple for victims of Saturday's Hamas attack against Israel. 9 Americans are known to be among the dead, and many more are believed to be missing and possibly taken hostage. Laurie Perez reports.
More than 7,000 miles from the bombing, the distance of geography has dissolved to Angelenos in pain.
I am devastated about what has happened in Israel. The loss of 700 plus lives is heartbreaking, and I am here to show alliance and solidarity.
Very good friends. I have very good friends that were on the kibbutz where they held the hostages and killed many people. They're safe, but it took a while to get in touch with them.
Hundreds came together in Bel Air Sunday. Thousands more joined online. From here in Los Angeles, they stood, voices united in the Israeli national anthem. The Board of Rabbis of Southern California and the Jewish Federation of Greater LA hosted the vigil, leaning on their faith as their collective fear, their heartbreak, their fury grows with every news update of more attacks, more victims, more loved ones who cannot be reached.
We need to show defiance in a way. We need to show that we're here. You cannot do this to us.
I am not going to stand and watch it burn. I'm going to grab a bucket.
But this vigil was more than a show of support. LA's Jewish community is motivated and mobilizing.
We're raising funds. There are more people who want to get to Israel than can possibly fit on planes right now. We're trying to assist with that process in any way that we can.
In 1939, we couldn't fight back. In 2023, we can and we will.
When we come back, we'll give you the sports update from last week with Lydia Welborn. You're watching Eagle Eye TV, Auburn's news leader.
Welcome back to Eagle Eye News. I'm Lydia Welborn here with your quick fix of all things Auburn sports. To start us off, the women's soccer team was sadly defeated in a tough match last Thursday versus the Crimson Tide, 2-1. In half-year news, last night the Tigers took down number 6 Arkansas 2-1. Due to a 60th minute game winner from junior Sydney Thibodeau, Auburn soccer knocked off its first top 10 opponent since 2017. It was a total team effort on both sides of the ball to secure the win. Auburn improves to 6-5-3 on the season and 2-3-1 in league play. Now for volleyball. The Tigers dominated the court this past week. For the first time ever on Friday, they shut out the number 9 Florida Gators 3-0 in a historic upset. The first set was a battle between both sides, but our Tigers owned the second set into the third. Last night, they traveled to South Carolina and ground out a 3-2 win against the Gamecocks. It was a neck-and-neck fight, but the Tigers prevailed in the third frame. The defense got to work in the 5th set after finally getting ahead of USC. Akasha Anderson and Madison Shear were key assets in both games. And speaking of Madison Shear, she was named the SEC Player of the Week for volleyball this week. We wish the Tigers our best as they head to Rocky Top this Friday to take on the Volunteers in some good old SEC play. To close with football, this past weekend was the Tigers' bye week. Despite not getting to be in Jordan-Hare, we hope you all had a good weekend and are ready for this upcoming weekend as the Orange and Blue travel to Baton Rouge to take on the LSU Tigers. Best of luck to Coach Freeze and the Tigers, and safe travels to all. And that's about it for tonight. Make sure to stay up to date on all things Auburn sports by following our Twitter at EETV_sports and by visiting our website, eagleeyeauburn.com. Happy fall break, and as always, War Eagle.
Just in time for spooky season, a new Goosebumps series is heading to streaming. Rick DeMegla reports.
Have we met?
Nathan Bratt, I'm the new English teacher.
Goosebumps makes its return to television in a new streaming series.
The Biddle House.
I did hear the horrible story about the boy who used to live there.
You know, I hear it's haunted.
Rob Letterman, director of 2015's Goosebumps movie, is an executive producer of the series.
I did the first movie, and then Neil Moritz, who's the producer on it, called me. I think it was like literally the week as the pandemic was hitting, and said, you know, I got the rights back for a TV series. Would you be interested? And I was like, yes.
This is all connected. He's getting revenge for what our parents did to him.
I love horror. I just have never really done it before, but I love, like, The Shining is a movie I watch like once a year at least. And to get to do something with visual effects, you know, all of that seemed really exciting to me creatively.
Oh my God, we're murder nepo babies. Those books were really well written. They never pandered down to kids, you know, which I think is really important. They were compelling and scary and funny and had heart, and they were relatable, and they had universal themes to them. It's time for them to learn the truth.
In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
A pilot says he's thankful to be alive after a caught-on-camera plane crash. Patrick Cornell shows us the incredible video in Take a Look at This.
Watch the moment this small plane falls from the sky, crash landing in a parking lot in Arlington, Texas. Amazingly, the pilot walked away from the wreck. Uziel Salinas says he was out for a joyride and was returning to the airport when the aircraft started showing signs of trouble.
I had to find the best place to land, and I had to do it with minimal damage and without hurting anyone on the ground.
The best option? A close parking lot with a chain link fence, and Salinas aimed the aircraft right at it.
I was hoping for that fence to catch us, to decrease our airspeed.
Mission accomplished, slowing to a stop, however violently, after hitting the barrier.
We're just thankful to be alive.
Salinas, not at all fazed by the crash. He's already back in the air. In completely unrelated news, Canada's most well-preserved Triceratops skull is now on display for all to see. The 69-million-year-old fossil dubbed Callie was found in Alberta in 2014. After unearthing, it took the Royal Tyrrell Museum 7 years of restoration and 6,500 hours of work to get Callie ready for the big day, and it did not disappoint. The museum says this is the largest skull it's ever assembled. Quite the glow-up in price for this piece of art. Rembrandt's The Adoration of Kings had hardly been seen since the 1950s until it popped up at auction 2 years ago, valued around $15,000 because of concerns it wasn't the real deal. After 18 months of research, the painting proved to be an autograph work of Rembrandt, and because you can put a price on history, the work is expected to sell for up to $18 million at an auction in December. For Take a Look at This, I'm Patrick Cornell.
In the eerie glow of the moon, one furry friend stands out as a striking figure, his beauty rivaling that of most mysterious creatures of the night. Behold Titus, the enchanting pet of the week. This good boy is not just a pretty face, but a seeker of forbidden knowledge. Almost 4 years old, Titus is spayed, neutered, heartworm negative, and very comfortable being around other dogs. If you're ready to embrace the mysterious allure of Titus and unravel the enigma of his heart, adopt him and let the supernatural adventures begin.
We're out of time, but for more Auburn news, head over to our website, eagleeyeauburn.com, and check out our social media pages. I'm Joe Champagne.
And I'm MaKayla Kersh. Thank you for watching, and War Eagle.